Tap mode is what? It's a part of a type of an interface of Palo Alto firewall. Okay, it is used for monitoring. This interface used for monitoring. Okay, this is used for monitoring. I've already explained. Okay, so it is used for monitoring. What we can do, as I see that, like it's a switch. It's a L3 switch. It's my PC. What the main thing here is, guys, like this switch interface is Ethernet 1/1. It's a switch interface. This one is Ethernet 1/0. It's a switch interface. And this is my Palo Alto firewall. And this is the Ethernet 1/1 is a tap mode of a Palo Alto firewall. Okay. And there is a one management is configured. Okay. Management. This is for the management. Taking the console and everything. So that's what I will show you guys. Actually, we will configure it, but see that the main thing is that how we can do the security policy, right? Because there is only one mode, tap mode. We'll see. So how we can achieve it? We can achieve it in 4 method, guys. First, what we can do, we have to be create a zone. Okay, we have to be create a zone. So the zone we will create, we will give the name tap, because we are doing for the tap interface. Okay, and then we'll go to the interface. Okay, and we'll change the type to tap mode. Okay, that's it, guys. And then we can assign the zone. Okay, then we can here also we can assign the zone which we have created, tab zone created. Okay, we'll assign to this interface. Okay, guys, only we are working on the one interface. Then we will create a security policy. We will see that there is a one catch, there is a one logic. Okay, I'm using a word catch in the security policy. We'll see. Actually, that is important. Okay, that's why I'm explaining. And then commit the changes. Only 4 step we will configure the tap mode. That's it, guys. Okay, so I want to explain that. We will see that for a security policy, we will see some logic. So guys, meanwhile, let's log into the device. Admin, and by default is admin. It is not configured. Well, that one. I don't know. It is not configured. Login incorrect. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, right? Anyway, so guys, I'm going to configure the management. Okay, set device config, system type is static, up arrow, 192.168 1.100 at mask 255. Done. I just configure it. Meanwhile, I just configure the management. Meanwhile, I'm going to this PC and just give the IP subnet to the management range. Go to the local area connection. 1.1. That's it. Nothing required. CMD is just checking the connectivity. Should ping. It's pinging, guys. So done. Let's log into firewall. Admin test @123. I think that time it was not taken there. Ask here. See, okay, I've removed it, right? Yeah. See that. I think I've already explained, but I will explain one more time later on. Configuration. Okay. So if you, like in Cisco, if you do anything and if I config anything and hit enter, it means execute that. That is at the same time it is going to the running config. I will explain it, guys, later on when the one topic is pending, once that is come. But just for the review, I'm telling you that for the information that there is a two things in the Palo Alto. One is candidate config and one is running config. So if you made any configuration and execute it, not commit, okay, not committing, it is going to the candidate config. It means it will not take effect. That is not going to be functionable till then you will not commit it. Committing means what? Till then you will not saving. Okay. So once you commit the candidate configuration, then it moves to the running config. Okay. Running config of Palo Alto is different and running config of Cisco is totally different. Okay. So whatever you will make changes, you need to be committed. Okay. If you will not commit, that is not going to be take effect. Hope you understand. Okay. So now come to the device. If you go to the device, go to the operational. I will explain it once. I will explain it. This is the things. Okay. Restore, saving. I will let you know what is the difference of save. What is the load? It is all restore and backup. Okay. If you want to reboot your device, you can do it. If you want to shut down your device, you can do it from here itself. Okay. So once I will explaining this restoration and backup of your device. Okay. That time I will explain about you the candidate config and running config, those things. Okay. So now I got it. Now we are going for the do the lab for the tap mode. So guys, I'm not going to do any changes at the switch in. Okay. I'm only going to change at the, because anyway we are not going to, like in the layer 2 mode we have do the, while doing the lab we have verified that. Here we will not able to verify because we don't have a monitor tab license, because once it will get the logs we will able to view here only. Anyway we are not going to see that. Okay. But anyway I will explain it how you can configure it. So first step I have explained it, create a zone. Okay. And give the name tab. So whatever the name you want to give, it's fine. We will first create a zone in the network, create a zone and give the name, just like I want to give a name tap mode. Okay, it's a name. Okay, any name you want to give, and type would be what, guys? We are going to learn all. Okay, type would be tap. I'm going to follow tap mode. That's it, guys. Just type. Okay, give any name and type would be tap mode. So tap mode. Just I have created the zone. Okay, and give the name. Type interface type would be tap mode. Okay, now come to the interface. There also just like which interface is connected with this switch. Ethernet 1/1. Make sure. Okay. So this interface 1/1, I need to go to that. Okay. And just I give the comment would be anything, tap mode for monitoring, anything. It's a just a writing monitoring. Okay. It's comment, anything. Interface type. So which type I'm going to select? I'm going to select the tab. Interface type would be tab. Okay, net flow. What is net flow? We will see later on. It's for the logs when the log topic would come on anyway. And assign to, what is, there is a one option, assign to security zone. The zone which we have created, I need to assign that. That's it. What is the other option in advanced? Nothing. It's for link speed, links duplex, link state. It's for just for the auto by default. Leave it. What we have did, we have created the one zone. We came to the Ethernet interface, and we have give the interface type tab and assign the security zone, the zone which we have created. That's it. Only 2 steps. Okay. Before that, now let me commit it so that interface would come up. I can even commit it later on also once. So after, what is the step? First I have created a zone. Second, I have go to the interface and give the type tab and assign the zone tab. That's it. Third, I have to create a policy and commit it. This is the 4-way only to create a tab. So that is clear. that interface. Okay, let me refresh this page. So that is green. That interface link came up. Okay, now come to the policy, guys. In the policy, guys, I'm just creating, going to create the policy for tap mode. So what would happen? So in the policy, I need to allow the policy so it will actually accept the packet from the switch. So interface has already been configured, but I need to create a policy for that. To give the name like monitor log policy. Okay, any name I just want to give. Go to the source, guys. There is a main important source is what? Source zone is what, guys? Source zone is source zone. I'm talking. It's just choose. We have created how many zone? We have created only one zone for the tap mode, right? We have only created a one zone for the tap mode. So your source zone is tap mode. What is your source address? Source address is if you have a one PC. Address, I'm going to talk about this. He want to take a logs of whom? He want to take off logs of whatever, he will collect the logs of this PC. Okay, he has to be forward. This switch has to be forward the logs of this PC. Okay, so if there is a whole subnet, if there is a all subnet or if there is a one specific PC, it's all depend which logs you want. That LAN, whatever the LAN connected with this switch or router, which logs you want. You want the logs of this particular PC only, or whole subnet is there, network is there, you need to mention. So like suppose this actually belongs to, I'm just giving an example, guys, like 10.3.3.0/24, just one subnet, guys. Okay, just example I'm taking, so that it's a subnet. Okay, subnet, whole subnet. The IP would be 10.3.3.1 of this PC, whatever IP. So there is a multiple PCs are connected in this LAN with this subnet. So I want the logs of all this subnet, whatever this subnet, whatever the PC would connect on this 10.3.3.0 subnet, I want the logs. Whatever they're accessing anything to the internet, I want the logs of all these sources, this source. Okay, at the Palo Alto end. So I will create the allow the policy. In the allow the policy, the source address is 10.3.3.0. It means which source you want the logs. If you put any event, no worry, because it will come only from the tap mode. If you want to put any, you can do that. If you want specific IP addresses of that particular PC, you can do that. Or if there is a specific subnet would be there, you can do that. Now come to the destination. Here is a catch, guys. The source zone is tap zone. Guys, your destination zone is also tab mode. This is the main catch here. In the creating a security policy for the tab interface, your source zone and destination zone both belongs to tab mode, guys. Okay, make sure. And destination, so suppose they are going, I'm not sure they are going which way. They are going to the internet, whatever it is, I don't know. Okay, so if you know the destination, you can put, otherwise it is going to the internet. So internet means any where IP is not defined. So keep it like any. Okay, application, whatever application that is any, and this is all like put any only, and traffic is allowed. So that's it. That's how you can create a policy for the tap mode. Your source zone would also the tap mode, source zone, your destination also belongs to the same tap mode because we have created only one zone. That's why. So that's configuration we need to, let me commit. And guys, only this 4-step required to configure a tap mode. If in your office, if you get a chance that you need to configure one interface as a tap mode, just follow this 4-step and your tap mode would be configured for the monitored logs. And where you get the logs, you will get the logs at the monitor tab at the traffic logs. Let me close it. Monitor tab and traffic logs. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, guys. So we can see the logs at the monitor tab at the traffic. Okay. So that's how we can create it. What configuration we need at the switch end? Okay. So guys, suppose this is a L3 switch and this interface is configured, this interface is configured. They're all basic routing interface, all are configured. I'm not going to touch it. Okay, guys. But there is a one specific command, guys, required to add into this switch. So your switch would forward the logs to this interface of the Palo Alto firewall. Okay. So I'm going to let you know that particular that command that is actually required. So here is the command for a tab mode switch end configuration. Okay. Switch in configuration for forwarding the logs. Logs to firewall device. Okay. So what configuration we can do? So there is a one configuration at the switch. This is for the switch. Okay. Like monitor. I think if anyone have a switch background, they would know that monitor session 1, then source. Okay. Monitor session 1, source, give the interface. Which interface your that subnet your PC is connected. This PC is connected with GI0/0, this interface. Give the name of this interface where this subnet or this PC is connected. Okay, so that's we need to mention, like it is connected with GI0/0, and we need to give. Then there is a one option. If you do the help key, it will ask which kind of logs, only source logs or destination logs. That is, give the, like it will ask for the inbound or outbound. Give the both. I want the logs for the both inbound and outbound. Okay, both means both direction of the logs I want. This is the one command, and this is a command for monitor session 1 source. Which source? So in this switch, this interface is connected. That is for the source I want for the both side of logs. And where to forward? Like we need to also mention the destination of the switch. So where to forward it? So that's we need to mention. So monitor session 1, then destination, and here I have to give the interface of switch interface of connecting to my firewall. So this is a switch interface is actually connecting to the firewall. So that is from this interface, traffic would, whatever the traffic is going from this interface, it has to be the log of this is forward to this interface. So we need to mention that. What is this interface, guys? GI0/1, which is actually connected with the firewall. That we need to give that GI0/1. Okay, so that's it. This is the command monitor session 1. Create the monitor session 1, and the source. Source would be whatever the, this is the source interface. This interface log would be both. Both means inbound and outbound, both logs. And then the second one, where to forward? Monitor session 1 forward the destination interface gigabit 0/1. So that's these two command actually required at the switch end to forward the logs of this port towards this port. So that's how this port of the switch will forward the logs of whatever the traffic coming to this interface. It will forward the logs towards Ethernet 1/1. Okay, guys, and that Ethernet 1/1 we have configured as tap mode. So that's how we can configure the tap mode at the Palo Alto, and this two command actually required to configure at the switch. So in the office network, guys, we are the Palo Alto guys. Switch actually has to be handled by the network team. It is not handled by firewall team. So whatever this two command I have explained, we no need to mention. We no need to configure actually those, because for the I have just only let you know, but in the office, these two command has to be configured by your network team. We no need to has to be care of this. Okay, because in your office, if you get the scenarios to configure the tap mode, just configure the tap mode what I have explained. Create a zone, create an interface, assign the zone to that interface, and create a one security policy. That's it, guys. Switch in network team has already made the changes, and after that, whatever the traffic would going, we are able to view the traffic at the monitor tab and the traffic logs. It's very easy. Monitor and traffic. Bus, just for the view the locks, nothing. Got it? So that's why it is not feasible. Actually, this tap mode is not feasible in the real time because we have a SNMP, we have a syslog, like we have some multiple things actually. Splunk, I don't know what are those things. We have a multiple things to actually getting the logs. What is the point of? But the why this Palo Alto firewall is a next generation firewall. But guys, if anyone has worked on any of the other devices, any of the firewall devices, say that this is the beauty of firewall. It has given you all the options, all the options. If someone had worked on Cisco firewall, so guys, this is for the actually I'm not able to demonstrate it. Why? Because this is switch and something else. Okay. So this is for the PC lab for the tap mode, virtual wire, and what is virtual wire as a like a transparent firewall, and we do the lab for that, and we will perform it like verify as well. Okay, a virtual wire is actually what it's a what is the requirement? Let me explain, guys. Okay, because that is very important, and I want you. So in the virtual wire, what is virtual wire, guys? Virtual wire is nothing is like I'm explaining. Okay, like a bump in a wire. Okay, if you not understand bump in a wire, I will explain it. That's like there is a one. Sorry, there is a one wire, guys. Wire. Okay, it is a wire, red color wire, and then guys, there is a one. We know that two wire, right? In your home, in your electricity wire, you can see that, right? So like there is a two, this is a red color, this is a yellow color, guys, holder, everything, right? So like what you can do, it all covered with the plastic, some plastic cover. What you will do, you remove that cover. So you will see some copper wire, right? Likewise, this also there is a copper wire. And what you will do, you will connect with these two, okay? Connect these two wire, and above that you will paste a sellotape. Okay, some paste it with some cello. That is called a bump in a wire. It's a concept, nothing to deal with the networking, but this is called a, actually called a virtual. Why they called it? Why they called it? You should know this because you are learning the Palo Alto. You should know that why they called virtual wire. Why? Because guys, see, there is a one topology I want to explain. Like suppose this is my router, and it is connected with the internet. Okay, internet, fine. Then guys, the one my L3 switch. We have a L3 switch at the core, like or distribute level. And there is my LAN, guys. We know all three L3 would be for the MPLS traffic, whatever. So guys, this one has an IP of suppose 10.1.1.1, right? It's L3, so every L3 has an interface IP, right? We know. And this is a L3 router. It has a IP. What would be the IP, guys? Direct gateway. I know that IP would be 1.1.2. Basic topologies. Okay. So guys, this could be old topologies. It's kind of a old topologies coming on since ages. Okay, since ages. Okay. So now you as a CEO, you as a security manager, whatever, you guys have a requirement to put one firewall or one security device here in between these two to just for protecting your LAN due to any means. You want to put a firewall here. So we know that our Palo Alto firewall is a L3. But basically, you know that the firewall work as a L3. My firewall is a L3 device, right? We know that. Okay. But if my firewall work as L3, then only my firewall has a full strength. We all know that, right? So if I'll put any L3 device in between these two topologies, if anyone have a basic idea of the network designing and everything, guys, that is going to be a very much mess of a topologies. You won't be able to put your in these two switches and router. It's very tough to put a L3 device in between. Very tough, because if you put a L3 device in between this switch and router, you need to change the gateway, right? This gateway has to be changed. Whatever the gateway of this switch, earlier this was this router, now it will be this firewall, right? If it's L3, right? Everything has to be changed. Multiple things has to be need to be changed, guys. So that is very, very, very hectic task. So what I will do, what there is a one stuff scam that I will put a security device in between, but that is not work as a L3, it will work as a L2, like a L2 switch. Okay, it will work as a L2, but it can have a full capacity of providing a security policy and like a providing a security of everything like it is. So I'm putting the firewall here, but that firewall work as a L3 mode. So say in the L3 mode, there is a no requirement of the interface IP, right? In L3 mode, my firewall not going to work as a that interface. We know that, guys, we know that, like a hop, next hop. What will be the my next? If I'll put my device firewall as a L2, the next hop of this switch was still this router only, right? If my firewall work as a L3 in between this layer 2 or router in between, if device is my L3, definitely this interface I have to be provide the public any IP address, right? I have to be put this two interface. I have to let's come here, guys. Router and L3 switch. Okay, guys. So if I will, this IP is 10.1.1.1, this interface IP is 10.1.1.2. If I will put any, suppose the two scenarios. If I'll put the L3 device, L3 firewall, if I'll put L3 firewall, what would happen? Scenarios I'm giving. I need to configure this firewall interface as a, I have to be provide the IP of this two interface. So if I provide the IP of this interface, what changes I need to do? I need to change the gateway of this switch. I need to also change the gateway of this router also. Whatever the gateway going from there, I need to change. Whatever gateway going from there, I need to change. And many other traffic, if there is any VPN tunnel, any all multiple routings are there, I need to change it. It's going to be a very mesh or hectic, right? So what need to be do? So in this the real scenarios, the very smart way, I will put this firewall as a L2. So if I will put my firewall as a L2, what would happen? 10.1.1.1, this interface IP is 10.1.1.2. What would happen if I put L2 in between? What would happen? I no need to put the interface. I no need to put the IP of this interface, right? Because it is going to work as a L2 switch, but it will provide the full security. So it's like a transparent. What is the meaning of transparent? Transparent means you can directly your traffic would go from this L3 to this router, right? No need to change the gateway, anything, nothing. But this firewall are able to provide all the security whatever I require. Even if this is the internet, even if there is any hacker would come, even hacker won't able to recognize there is any firewall in between, because this is work as L2. No one could able to recognize, right? If there is a L3, it could be reply that if it is blocking anything, it will reply, I am blocking it. We know that, right? In the meaning of deny. This is the actually use of, and one more thing. So tomorrow what we are going to view, we see that this is our firewall, work as a virtual wire or L2. And tomorrow topologies, we would have a one PC here, okay? And there is a one more PC here, okay? This PC is a part of like 172.16.1.0/24. Same subnet part, this is also 172.16.1.0/24. Right? Like if this one has a IP of 172.16.1.1 and this one have a IP of 172.16.1.2. Okay, so with the help of virtual wire, this is would be other interface 1/1, this would be another interface 1/2. Okay, and with the help of virtual wire, we will see how the same interface traffic, same subnet, right? Because it's L2, so the subnet would be same on the both sides, right? Because it's work as a L2 switch. Okay, so this PC has an IP of 172.16.1.1 and this is 172.16.1.2. It will forward the traffic. We will configure the virtual wire. So my firewall would going to work as a L2. We will create the security policies and then we will see that how come this PC which have a same subnet of network and in the both sides, and then they will forward the packet with the help of L2 and virtual wire. So we will see the lab. What is a lab? See that this is lab. This is a Palo Alto firewall, virtual wire. We will create a zone for virtual wire. There is a one PC 172.16.1.1. This is 1.2. I have taken both in the same subnet, like in the bumpy wire, right? There is a nothing both. Management only can able to connect. from the management, we will configure my firewall. We will create the security policy, and we will create the virtual wire. We will make my firewall as a virtual wire or transparent firewall, and we will try to forward the traffic from this PC to this PC, this interface to this interface. Okay. It's like a bump in a wire. It's something transparent. It is not blocking anything. Like we can see why name is virtual wire. They have put it the name as a virtual wire, and that the meaning of virtual wire is like red color wire, okay, red wire, anything, and blue wire. It's just a practical example I'm taking. And if you cut it, the wire is any wire, the normal wire, electric wire I'm talking about. If the wire is covered with some kind of plastics. If you cut out the plastic, it will come some kind of a copper, right? So if you mix this, that's called actually a virtual wire. Okay, the same thing happening here. So they have given a name virtual wire. Okay, it means what they're going to do and where is actually used. So where we can use a virtual wire and why it is used. See that, like if we want to use our device as a L3, the features of virtual wire is that firewall is work as a L2. Firewall is work as a L2. L2 means L2 switch, kind of a L2 switch. Okay, this is the main things. So if any device is working as a L2 switch, it doesn't mean that there is a no IP address required at the interfaces of the device, right? So this is the main things. But the thing is that still security policy, it can strict with security policy. It means we can use the security policy. Security policy can protect the network. Security policy can protect the network, right? So even my device, my firewall work as a L2, still it can protect the network with the help of security policies. Okay, this is the main thing. Okay, these are the important thing. Okay, so like whatever the features we have at the L3 of firewall, the same features we would see at the L2. But there is a one limitation. Limitation is that we want to use dynamic routing. Okay, dynamic routing and VPN, not we cannot configure, cannot be configured. Okay, so it is not supported actually, cannot be configured. So it means dynamic routing like OSPF, BGP, those are actually, if required, we won't be able to. And any for the VPN communication, it's not supported. Okay, so only these things, that's it. For VPN dynamic routing, it's not supported, but it can able to provide all the security policy, everything. So that's a good thing. So you would ask that the main thing we need to know, in which scenarios we can use virtual wire. That's a very important thing. Okay, why we use a virtual wire? What is the point of having a virtual wire device? Okay, we can use my L3 device, right? Like if my firewall is working as a L3 network, we know that. So we can put firewall as a L3 in all over the network. So I'm just putting here two scenarios, just like yesterday. Just I'm explaining again the two scenarios. One scenarios, okay. First scenario is what? Like there is a L3 switch. This is L3 switch, okay. In the distributing side, you have L3 switch, like, and suppose there is a LAN connected, okay, LAN PC, okay, LAN PC, the whole LAN PC connected. And then guys, there is your router is connected. Okay, it's a router. And then there is a internet. So guys, we know that this L3 switch could be IP of 10.1.1.1. Okay, and this router has a IP of 10.1.1.2. Okay, so guys, it's kind of in these scenarios, like your manager, your director would require, like in the office topology, this topology is like your team has decided that we want to put firewall device in between these topologies, like here. I want to put firewall here. So what you will do, if you want to put a firewall here, okay, in this topologies, in the first topology, if you want to put firewall here, definitely if we are going to put a firewall in a L3 mode, L3 mode is what? Whatever we have training, doing all the stuffs, we know L3, right? So if you're doing, putting my firewall as a L3, what we need to do? Then we have to be put like this interface of a firewall and this interface of the firewall. We need to put some IP address, right? We need to assign this IP address, because if any device work as L3, it interface has to be assigned a IP address. Okay. So in this topologies, which is already working, and we want to put a firewall in between as a L3 device, it's not gonna work. It can be, but it could be a full mesh. Mesh means what? It's really a, it's going to be a big headache. Like all of the routing, all of the topology stuff, routing from that side, routing from router side, all has to be changed. Okay, multiple things need to be changed actually. Okay, so I want to protect my LAN. I want to protect my LAN, but I don't want to change my topologies. I want to keep my topologies as it is. Okay, I want to keep my topologies as it is. So what we can do? So what we can do in these scenarios? We will put the firewall, but I don't want to change my topologies, but I want to put my firewall in between. Okay, so we can put the firewall, but I want that firewall work as a L2. So if my firewall work as L2, what would happen? No need to put the interfaces of the firewall. No need to put the IP address of my firewall interfaces. Not required, because in the L2 device, it won't require the interfaces, right? It won't require the IP address at the interface. So L3 switch directly can forward the packet to the L3, okay, to the router with the same IPs. Okay, there is a no hop count in between, no hop count, right? What is hop count? We know that, right? There is a no hop count. It's a directly the L3 gateway would be the default gateway would be L3 switch default gateway would be the router itself. Okay, so what we can do at the firewall in, but it's working as L2, but we can create all the security policy. Whatever the policies we want to create, we can create as well. So we can protect our network or restrict the policies, okay, or restrict the traffic. So likewise, if there is any hacker, suppose if any hacker, okay, if there is any hacker coming and attacking to the network, okay, he want to doing, we know that, right? Some port scanning attack, port sweep attack, right? We have learned that. Suppose if there is a hacker, he want to do some reconnaissance attack. It's not an attack, but he want to do reconnaissance that if there is any firewall in between. So he has a try to forward some traffic. Okay, he won't be, this hacker won't able to get the any information about the firewall, because this firewall is not working as L3, he's working as L2. So if he forward anything, his traffic would be blocked. But he won't be realize that, okay, this is blocked by the firewall. He won't be get any information because my firewall working as L2 here. Okay, so that's a very, very interesting actually. We can work as a L2, but there is a limitation. I have already informed. We can work my firewall as L2, but the limitation is that is not going to be support dynamic routing and VPN. IP can used here only for management. Management for what? We know that for taking a console access, dashboard access, whatever. Only management, nothing. And any of the interfaces, no need of any IP. Okay. In the virtual world, what I'm trying to explain, only one IP can be used. That is only used for the management. That's it, guys. Come to the topologies. What I'm using. See that in this topology, only one IP. Let me type the IP 192.168.1.100. That is IP is for this management IP. Okay, so only IP use only for the management, guys. Always remember, because if there would be no management interface, how can we log into the firewall and configure it, right? So only one IP in the interface at the management. 192.168.1.1 is your this PC. So in this virtual wire, what we are going to do? We are going to do that management interface already configured. We will configure it again. Okay, and this interface I've given the name virtual wire. It's not actually, this is inside. Okay. I will give this name inside zone. I will give this name outside zone. Okay. And then this PC, see that guys, what I've explained that, I've explained that switch one, right? The L3 switch and router. What I've explained, the both belongs to the same subnet, like 10.1.1.1. And this is 10.1.1.2. Guys, these are belongs to the same subnet, right? Same network, right? In between. Okay. So what does in firewall, my firewall would be here. It means what? In my topologies, I'm going to use, this is my firewall here. This is I'm going to use like outside, any zone could be. Just I'm going to put outside zone. And this is a PC. Okay. So what is this is inside zone. This is a PC. So this subnet is what? This subnet is I'm going to use 172.16.1.0/24. This and even that side also I'm going to use 172.16.1.0/24. Okay, both subnet are same. Okay, I will use this PCIP 172.16.1.1 and this one I'm going to use 172.16.1.10. Okay, so this I'm going to use, and my firewall would be the layer 2. Okay, we are going to use for the virtual wire. Okay, so what would happen if traffic will go, if it is going to work as a L2, whenever this PC traffic would go through that, it will only check the security policy. That's it. Only check the security policy. If security policy is allowed, that would be forwarded, right? So guys, there is a one catch. Okay, I will explain it. So for configuring the virtual wire, what steps need to be done? The first steps, we will create the zone. Okay, we will create the zone for type what, guys? Type virtual wire zone. Okay, virtual wire zone. We will create the zone. Type is virtual wire. We will create two zones, inside and outside, but the type of that zone would be virtual wire. Second, we can create the virtual wire. There is a one virtual wire. Okay, we can create the virtual wire. There we will make my firewall as a L2. We can create the virtual wire. Then we can go to the interface. Then we will go to the interfaces. Okay, the which interface you want to make virtual wire, those things we can assign. Okay, and there we will assign the zone. That's it only. And assign this virtual wire which we have created. We'll assign the zone and assign the virtual wire. We will see that in the exam, in the lab. Okay, assign the virtual wire. That's it, guys. And fourth number, we will create a security policy. And commit the changes. So guys, there is a one catch at the security policy, which I'm going to explain it. Okay, only 5 steps to configure a virtual wire, guys. Okay, so see that, guys, this topologies I'm going to be used. Okay, that should not be actually, if I let me edit it, it should not be. Let me remove it, send duplicate, delete. This should I'm going to use as a like inside, and this one will be outside. Okay, so this is how my topology is. This is for the virtual wire. I'm going to make it Ethernet 1/1 and Ethernet 1/2 as work as a virtual wire, as a L2. Okay, and then Ethernet 1/1, there is a one PC connected which IP is 172.16.1.1, and even there is in the outside zone there is a one PC connected with the interface 1/2 172.16.1.0. Okay, there is a no IP assigned on these two interfaces. No IP assigned, guys. Remember, IP only would be assigned for the L3, right? So I'm going to use these two interfaces as a virtual wire as a L2. So guys, let's come to the lab. And before going to the lab, guys, I want to wipe out the configuration, whatever the configuration would be with my firewalls. We will see that. I'm going to let's Hope this is allowed. Admin. Okay. Admin test at the rate 123. Test at the rate 123, and it is configured. Okay. Okay. Configure. Set device config system type static to the payload remove IP address 192.168.1.100 netmask. Okay. Hundred netmask. Done. That's it. That's it. I want. Commit it. Once it commit, I will get the access here, guys. Okay, it's already moving. Once it commit, guys, we will see. I will get the prompt here. 75% done, 98% done. I will get the prompt. Still, okay, it's done. See that. I've got it. Okay. So we have got the prompt, login prompt, type admin, test at that 123. Close those things. Okay. So guys, this is a scratch new firewalls. Okay. Nothing is configured. Policy is nothing. So we are configuring what? Virtual wire. So whenever you want to configure a virtual wire, only 5 steps I have shown. First, go to the zone. Okay. Nothing is configured, guys. It's a new firewall. Go to the zone and create 2 zone. Okay. First, create zone. Give the name. Name could be anything or anything. Okay. I have given the name inside. So we have created the zone and assign the zone also the type virtual wire. Okay. If you are using for tap mode, we have created the zone for tap mode, right? If you are using the zone for L3, L2, we can use for the L2 zone. Even if you want to use for L3 zone, we can use the L3 zone. So likewise, which interface you want to, which types of interface you are configuring, your zone should be the same type. Otherwise, it won't take. Okay, guys. Here we are going to configure my zone, my interface as a virtual wire type. We have to select the zone as a virtual wire all the time. Remember, guys. So just I have